Alright, so we have a two-headed giant commander game just in time for the Oath of the Gatewatch release. We've got Horde of Notions and Uyo Silent Prophet against Sidisi Brood Tyrant and Tristani Selesnia's Voice.
So one thing, just prefacing all of our incessant jokes and commentary, we had to go back and watch the original recording of this before we commented. This was back before winter break. We just got back, so it's been a while. And
Not for me. I've been editing the thing.
We didn't even remember what had happened this game. We remembered who won, but that was about it.
What we'll notice here is the reason I don't remember what happened is because I didn't really do much here. I sit here and you'll notice a lot of untapped islands and absolutely nothing on my field.
As someone who plays Tristani against Uyo in perpetual fear of Clone Legion, I'm totally fine with that happening.
I hit very little of my really aggressive cards. I was sitting here letting Horde of Notions attempt to do shit, and I'm just sitting here
Just
waiting, thinking when are my instants gonna be relevant? And I mean, a couple of them help, but in the end, it just is not enough. I needed more on board to block damage, and I just couldn't get it.
And I'm gonna jump in here because that's something. My first commander deck was Send Triplets. I've mentioned this in other videos, but because I don't think people hate me enough, I did in fact play Send Triplets at one point. Mm-hmm. And that deck, it's a really fun deck to play, and I love playing control strategies. The problem is the way I built it was just so reactive. Mm-hmm. It was either I'm one of the last two people standing because no one cared enough to take me out, and I just white field until I can get a finisher down, or I kind of just fizzle.
I feel that Uyo relies on other people having the board state and not being the prime target.
The problem was, usually this deck works fantastic. I can just drop a ton of clones, everything copies everything. I just did not hit any of my copy cards that I needed. Like, I hit the Phyrexian Metamorph early, but that was it. And I hit the Master Predicaments, who's since come out of the deck. I hit cards that I didn't need at times. I really needed something else. And it's a fantastic deck, and do we have any other games where we've played Uyo?
No, we haven't.
Okay, yeah,
But
this
you'll
is not a
see
good representation of how the deck works.
Just a quick spoiler for Uyo. We've had a chain of 49
Jace's Mindseekers in the same stack that milled out every player and made a 54-54 Uyo, and I chose not to attack with it because it was my turn and I just let them draw themselves
That was
out.
the greatest part of it, is that was a 45-minute stack in your pre-combat main phase.
Exactly.
There was most of a turn after that. Okay, here's me completely failing to use a Suture Priest.
Yeah, with all the Omnaths.
I will say that is a relatively recent addition to the deck by this point in time. It's such a little passive trigger. I think I've gotten better at it since then, but oh my goodness, that was...
To be fair, you didn't need it. You guys pushed so much damage at the end that it was just over.
That's actually, I don't think that's true. I think we pushed 2 over what we needed. Trying not to spoil too much, it was a close call at the end, not necessarily for who was going to win the game, but whether we could close it that quickly.
Yeah.
And that was... This entire game, I feel like I was a little bit more nervous than I needed to be in retrospect, but...
Okay. The Polymorphous Jest is the first really useful thing I do this entire game. I dropped the Slagworm, which apparently is... I mean, it's a big problem for Horde. He needs his stuff not getting eaten. But
yeah, I mean...
The problem with this is immediately responded with the Angel combo.
Okay, I should probably explain this. With the Angelic Accord and Tristani down, if I can find some way to get the first Angel down, after that I will populate an Angel, at end step get an Angel, populate an Angel, gain 4 life. End step, the first Angel triggers the second Angel, gain 4 more life.
He's just gaining 2 Angels for 1. And I mean, we're hoping with this Tyrant of Discord that was dropped to pop much more of the field, but every single time it hits a land on the second one.
Yeah.
It's
always Angel Forest. Angel Forest. And I'm okay losing that because I have with that Frontier Siege up, I have green mana. I don't need
the fact remains
is the Slagworm's back, unfortunately. But
anime dead. But yeah, the reason I chose Tyrant of Discord is because it's still a disrupting agent.
It's still
it
a
still
problem.
wasn't pleasant for you to continually do work to get angels. Okay, nuke one.
Yeah.
Great, thanks. And I will say that I was absurdly lucky. That is maybe the scariest card in that deck. Aside from
Tristani,
Horde of Notions, because Voltron is normally the way people end up killing Tristani.
Oh, my
just
friend,
they can't push.
my friend, this is only the first of many iterations.
Yeah.
It has recently
Honestly,
received an
even
update.
that Maelstrom Nexus, that is a fantastic card, and you
God,
have pulled
no.
off some ridiculous things with that.
Just
Yeah.
Cascade, always.
Yeah, no,
Just keep
I took
cascading.
out a lot of some of the stuff that I really didn't feel was helping, so I feel like the Cascade is a nice effect. I'm keeping the Maelstrom Access, but I had to do a lot of filtering to consider.
We have
real.
And
the-
actually,
we
okay.
have you playing your Tiller Nephilim, which is useful, and me playing Master of Predicaments, which isn't.
which is less.
a little
that
bit of a
needs-
discrepancy.
That card needed to come out. I was testing it for this game. It really didn't do much, and that's why I took it out of the deck. It's good in blue decks, just I don't need it.
Yeah. Jumping back
It's more for
pre-tangent.
fun.
Jumping back, or quick comment and then jumping back pre-tangent. Master of Predicaments, you have so many instants that
Right.
the on-combat damage doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't need it.
The second thing I was gonna say is you can look down in the corner. I am getting very nervous at this point, because 14 commander damage is an uncomfortable place for me. This deck gains a ton of life, and every game it's just Tristani shows up. Okay, who's got the best Voltron deck on the table?
Exactly.
Tristani is your job.
Exactly. And I never got Uyo up to try and either A, stop those angels, or B, try and push more commander damage and put another threat on board.
As you very succinctly remind me of a game we played a long time ago, not recorded, where I stole Uyo back when I had Verbidia. Stole Uyo for the sole purpose of trying to Voltron someone else with your commander.
That was quite amusing. Now, Celestial Dawn is an interesting card for this deck. It just instantly mana fixes. I think that's a really cool card.
I took it out though. I really don't need
Really?
it.
Hey,
Okay.
here I go, losing another angel
I mean-
in the forest.
I mean,
boy.
I now run it in Judge Call Turbo, which you probably won't see on this channel just due to the confusion it would cause.
Look,
but
Literally,
It's in that deck.
if we had to play that and record it, I would spend more time than I would want editing. it, commenting.
we'd spend more time recording it. The deck's pushed games into like 4 or 5 hours.
We'd spend more time looking up the rulings for everything.
It's disgusting. Look, don't get
Okay,
me wrong.
we need to stop this because
Okay.
this deck is dumb.
You may see that, but what you're seeing here is the Hornet Queen that really starts the downward spiral for
What you're seeing
us.
here is the Selesnya Air Force that shouldn't exist because it's Selesnya. Either way, the fact that this deck can do that, it doesn't have a lot of ways to get an Air Force out, but once it does,
all the flying death touch was just that was
It
the
was
death
too
knell,
much.
and you're trying
and I can just
desperately.
populate out.
You're trying
over and
desperately
over.
with the Omnath,
Right.
And it's getting us field presence, but it's simply not enough.
No.
with
And
death
then
touch.
again, the Selesnya Air Force,
Mm-hmm.
you've got those elementals down, and they'd be terrifying normally, but because I have both of my big air pieces down, the Angelic Accord and the Hornet Queen, I think Scion of V2 Ghazi is the only other one.
Right.
Yeah.
I can just go over that. And this is really rare. Speaking of rare things happening with our decks, it's really rare for the majority of my field presence to be airborne, but I am not gonna complain. That's what got us this game, was the fact that I had 70% of my air presence in the deck down right now.
Now I try to do something relevant, and I have counters in. I have a Twin Cast in hand. Twin Cast doesn't help against a Mystic Snake. I was not expecting that, and this is the one point where I'm kind of ish relevant in this game, and I do absolutely nothing. That was the other thing that got you this game. You had Air Force, a huge Air Force,
And that Mystic- Mystic Snake
I
and
was
the
in,
second-
You
the
were
s-
effectively playing against one player.
Yeah, the second piece, there's two pieces that really take Uyo out of contention, and normally it's a great deck to have.
Now I try to make a copy of Master Predicaments, and
There's the
another
other
card I cannot respond to, so I lose.
Just the biggest part of this wasn't necessarily that you couldn't be relevant. It's that once it started to get to the point where Uyo's relevant, we could stop it.
Exactly. So that's where this game pretty much ended. We're out of video, but it was pretty much just you were playing against one player, and you got out a field that we had no way to deal with because we did not have enough flyers.
And all my creatures in this game in this Horde Notions deck is always ground based.
It's walkers, and I have a few flyers. I just did not hit any that I
Right.
needed. I hit the one that I didn't want in the deck anymore. It went really badly for us.
So
Yeah.
apologize for running over. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.